Internets, hello you lovelies. Let's talk all about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6, the penultimate episode of this second season. And it was brutal. It was very low on zombie, very high on trauma of the emotional variety. Going to be diving all into that episode. But if you're new to this page, I cover lots of movies, lots of TV, and lots of comic books. If you like comics especially, this page might be for you. I read 50 to 70 comics a week. And every week in a live, I break down my 9 favorite comics a week. I also review movies and TV from that lens of loving genre content. So please hit the subscription bell. Also, please hit a like on this video. And please leave a comment. Let's talk about The Last of Us down below up until this point. Predictions for the final episode, all that, etc. down below. All right, so this episode starts, as all of the episodes this season has, with an incredibly strong opening. This show has done a remarkable job building out the world pre-Wyoming, pre-zombie attack in a lot of cases, or, using different characters outside of our leads in the opening to world build out. Either way, the openings of this season have been remarkable. This one kind of is a little mini vignette to shape the whole episode that gets a great throwback line near the end, and it just establishes like generational trauma and generational obligation and expectation and hopeful growth. And we see what Joel came from, which contextualizes Joel a lot more, which gives us so much about how harsh Joel is and why the strictness and why the structure and why those things, which obviously we see the love he has for Ellie. It's clear as day. We see the compassion for the world, but we see that structure and that strictness. So we see where it came from, and the protectiveness of his little brother, and like the defiance of authority and the defiance for his little brother, and the immediate urge to protect others at the cost of himself. We see all this in one scene. Incredible work. Great writing, great acting, great casting. Really impressed with the casting of the dad. I love that character actor, and they did a really good job making that feel of understanding Joel Miller Sr., it looked like. Really impressed top to bottom. And then we get into basically an episode of birthdays, a birthday medley of how much Joel cares for Ellie, him taking care of her, him just caring in general, and the presence and the thought and the energy and like the sheer volume of what he does, like refinishing that guitar and all the work that takes, using bone and going on these journeys to get Legos or other supplies and trading them, and like the barter system of this world we see again later with coffee, but the bartering to get her presence and to make her happy. And then the brutal dichotomy of things. There's a lot of 1-2 punches. There's the 1-2 punch of, I want you to be better than me, and even if it's a little bit, that's my goal, which obviously he got from his father during that scene. We saw like just be a little better, which reminds me of that 3005 concept, a song I love, basically about leaving the world for your kids better than you found it, even when you won't see it. The idea of planting a seed you'll never see grow into a full tree, like just leaving the world better than you found it, but also like taking care of future generations. So hoping that your kids are better than you. We get that echo, that rhyme of life. And then we also get the cake. He wanted chocolate clearly, but accepted vanilla because that's what he could do at the time and wanted it tomorrow, all those things. And then a few years later, we get the chocolate cake, but at that point, those teen years are brutal. We get a lot of those little moments, but I love all of the birthdays being so special, like getting the astronaut, countdown and putting her in that position, and like the rare perks of a dystopia of climbing on top of a dinosaur, going to a museum, which you can run, stealing an astronaut helmet. Like, there's not a lot of perks to the world ending, but those few we've seen in this, season, we've seen in the show, both seasons. Just really impressed top to bottom with how they made us love Joel even more. And they did it in such a way that it recontextualized both seasons. Obviously, this is all after the first season, but recontextualized Joel as a man with that opening, and then recontextualized their relationship with everything that followed. And I really was impressed at what they were then able to do to give us how the betrayal happened and kind of like dance, right? Like, we saw Ellie, walk by Joel. We got the emotional impact of the guitar. We got the beautiful series of birthdays and how much he cares. Then we got a birthday day betrayal with the incredible Joey Pantoliano. There's the word. Joey Pantoliano. One of the greats, Cypher in The Matrix, so good in Bound, so good in everything he does, so good in Bad Boys. Joey Pants is remarkable. What he does here is brings a very different, not comedic role. He's not chewing wildly on steak and betraying all the members of his team on the ship in Matrix. He is here mourning his wife in real time and mourning his life in real time and wanting to see her again and wanting to hear from her. And I love that that pays off with the reveal of Catherine O'Hara. So we get another relationship contextualized, but we now understand why she hates Joel. And that layer of every time they interacted, we knew there was something. Now we know what it is. And man, that payoff was brutal and really powerful. Every single layer of relationship in the show is so good. Every moment of like the world getting a little bigger just adds to this great tapestry of humanity. And that whole sequence of Joey Pants just like accepting his fate, staring, and like the series of emotions crossing over his eyes, and the walk to his fate, and you know, Joel lying and then understanding to a point where Ellie was coming from, her betrayal, her being promised, but also she stole that woman's moment. Like she stole what that memory of her husband could have been, and Joel being at fault, but also like that is the protocol, and seeing how he sees rules. Like this did so much. Such a brutal episode. But I also love that all of that contextualizes the last beat we saw with Joel early in the season, second episode, where we then get to revisit the sequence of, you know, the dance and the midnight and all that stuff, the New Year's, and how we saw the beat where we thought they'd never spoke again. And then that one little second of staring into the middle distance, existential crisis, then the double back, and then we see not only do they confront each other, we see the actual conversation of the Fireflies. We then go, will they ever speak again? And then we think they won't, and then it's hostility, and then it's peace. From the moment she's on the porch, it's, is this a positive last moment or a negative last moment? How does their last conversation end? And beautifully, up until the last moment you think it's with hate, and then the last beat we see is that she's gonna try. And that's just, man, if things are awful, that's like the best you can hope for. Silver lining is at least it ended on something up, instead of pure down after 9 months of down. Like Joel got to have a moment of catharsis, a moment of hope. And that's what life's about, is finding moments of hope. So yeah, I loved that choice. And then ending the episode with that hope, and then walking into the theater, and we're going to get our finale. So not the format I expected, to be honest. I thought this was going to be an Abby episode. I was surprised when obviously we saw Joel at the very end. The hey there, kiddo of episode 5. I thought we'd get a lot more of like fleshing out Abby, so we are conflicted about this vengeance. This season has been much less about revenge than I expected. Obviously there's tons, but less than I expected. Curious how that pays off in the finale. Obviously we're newly ripped open with our thoughts of Joel, so that obviously is going to tie into whatever happens in 7. And yeah, what an episode of television. Very curious how Abby comes into play in the finale. Very curious what happens with Dina, and what happens with Ellie, what happens with everyone. It's all coming together. What happens with Jesse? Like, this finale's got to do a lot. It's got to cover us having any sympathy at all for Abby beyond that one episode where we got to know that her dad was the one he killed, but we really love Joel, so that's hard to really feel because we know why he did it. But we gotta, I imagine, get that. We also have to have the Jesse and Dina conversation. We got to have Ellie coming in there. We got to have a lot of vengeance. We got to have the stuff with the wolves and the scars. Lots going on in this finale. So let me know in the comments, if you haven't played the game, how you think it ends. Please don't spoil it for me. I'm so close. We have one episode left and I haven't been spoiled. We are getting a season 3. People told me in the comments last week, season 3 has been confirmed. That's exciting. The story will carry on. So what do you think happens in episode 7, the season 2 finale? Let me know in the comments below. Please leave a like in this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Love this episode. Haven't played the game, so I got a lot of love for this season. I know it's hit or miss. I know it's Greg Alva's favorite game of all time. I know a lot of people hate it. I'm loving it. Really powerful storytelling. Really emotional. Really wrecked. All right. Do something great, you lovelies. Hug people you care about. End something with hope. You never know the last time you're going to see them. All we can do is leave good moments for others and for ourselves. So do something great. All right. Much love, guys. Bye.